This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Rock and Roll Denim, Pendleton Whiskey, Bill Fick Ford, the WCRA, and Resistol. Born in the iconic American western town of Pendleton, Oregon, and taking its name from one of the most revered rodeos in the world, my absolute favorite rodeo, known for the grass, the Pendleton Roundup. Pendleton Whiskey is a modern celebration of a century-old tradition. Pendleton Whiskey is barrel-aged in American oak and cut with glacier-fed spring water from Oregon's Mount Hood. For an uncommonly smooth, rich taste and complex flavor, the Pendleton Whiskey brand honors a heritage that inspires us to live boldly, never lose sight of the values we believe in, and taste the moment, wherever we may be. The legacy of the American cowboy is forged in every single bottle. A taste of true Western tradition is always worth raising a glass to. Discover more at PendletonWhiskey.com. Oh, and Pendleton Whiskey is the official whiskey of Pro Rodeo and of the PBR. Pendleton Blended Canadian Whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume, Pendleton Distilleries, Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Please drink responsibly. Bill Fick Ford, the #1 Super Duty dealer in the entire country, is still taking care of their customers. It's hard to get trucks right now, but there's some perks when you're the #1 Super Duty dealer in the country. You still got trucks. Go to BillFickFordHuntsville.com to get the no bull discounts that no one else is giving during this crazy time that we're living in. Bill Fick Ford is still the place to go. In fact, if you ask me, it's the only place to get a new Super Duty dealer today. Bill Fick Ford. The Women's Rodeo World Championship is the largest purse in the history of women's rodeo, paying out a total of $750,000. The event will take place October 26th through the 29th in Las Vegas at the South Point Arena. Each Women's Rodeo World Champion will take home a minimum of $60,000 each, while the all-around champion will collect a minimum of $20,000. The championship event just is out equal money in all disciplines. This is your chance at a piece of that $750,000 purse. Earn your position on the leaderboard by nominating your team roping, breakaway, and barrel racing runs with the WCRA. Visit Women'sRodeoWorldChampionship.com to learn more on how to qualify for the richest event in history of women's rodeo. Again, that's Women'sRodeoWorldChampionship.com.
What sets Resistol apart is the legacy of the cowboys who wear the brand. These traditions are passed down from fathers to sons, from heroes to future champions. Since 1927, Resistol has been handcrafting the finest American-made cowboy hats. Generation after generation, we live it every day.
This is The Gauge with host Chance Conradu.
Are you freaking serious? It's Conrado. This is The Gauge, and I am Chance Conrado. On this episode of the podcast, we've got Ryan Pedone's husband. He was supposed to bring the Badger, but Don Lee did not bring the Badger, so we just had to talk about the Badger for 45 minutes. Not really. We kind of just shot the shit and did the Gauge thing, but it's kind of like a bonus extra episode. We've got a lot of other things coming out, but he's a fun guy, so we had a fun conversation. Check it out. You said you were at baseball, t-ball, something like that?
Yeah, baseball.
Kid? How's your son?
11.
11?
Yeah. Played in Irving, west side of Dallas over there.
Really?
Kind of in the ghetto. But.
That is the ghetto. Well, Don, thanks for coming. You know, I don't think I've ever met you or anything, but when you have a name like Don Lee, it's like it's going to be one of two things. Either you're a veterinarian with a pet badger or you're a kung fu master. I didn't really know which way it was going to go.
Right? Yeah, I always get that. Everybody thinks you're a white guy with a red beard. A little more look like a lumberjack than a Chinese guy. So
yeah, you look like you would have stopped at the bar on your way over here. There's Jameson over there.
That's right. I try to hold off that anymore. Just stick to the beer.
Really?
That Yuengling's pretty good now. So
which beer is it?
That Yuengling.
I don't even know what that is. Is that like a craft beer?
Yeah, German.
Really?
German craft. First American brewery actually here, brought over by the Germans.
Mm-hmm.
It was up north, and now it's in Texas. So
yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. With the red beard, you change out your shirt, put on a different thing, put some beads in your beard, and you could be a barista with your craft beers. There's a lot of different ways you could go with that. You have like a very unique look. You could either be what you are, or you could be something the exact opposite.
For sure.
And you don't have to change anything but your T-shirt.
I'm not sure that beard's long enough for beads.
Not yet, but it could be. Give him a few days.
It was about 2 weeks ago.
Really? What's the
Cut it
longest
off.
you've ever let it be?
It's probably been 4 inches.
Really?
Yeah.
Full on lumberjack.
Yeah. About 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the definition of red beard.
I had to shave it. I was supposed to be hunting this week in Colorado, and when I was shooting, I would catch my beard on my bowstrings. And so I shaved it down.
Really? Well, why are you not chasing muleys with your bow?
The PBR bull rider that died in Fresno.
Yeah.
They worked for us, and so I stayed home because, well, we thought the funeral and everything was going to be this week, so
Yeah.
stayed home to handle
Man.
or make sure we were all there for that.
Yeah, what a tragic accident, huh?
For sure. For sure.
They've got things pretty down pat in the PBR, but there's nothing you can do sometimes.
No, not at all. Not at all. They're a great family too, but terrible deal.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, that is sad. I'm sorry to hear about that. Do you like to hunt? Is that one of your big?
oh yeah, I used to rope a lot. Now I don't have time. Ryan, she would always get mad at me. She's like, "Oh, well, you need to go practice. You need to go practice." Or why even go? And I was like, "Because it's a hobby. I enjoy doing it." And so I said, "Well, I'm just going to take 2 weeks off and quit if I make stupid mistakes and not win." And I like to win, so it was pissing me off a little bit. So
Yeah.
I just,
Well,
Stop.
especially where you guys are at down here. I mean, if you're not all in, then there's no point in going.
it's
Just get spanked.
for sure.
Yeah, it's
For
not
sure.
it's not a hobby. I think that anybody who rodeoed, I don't know how much you rodeoed or how serious you got about it, but I'm sure you realize it's like you either go down this path or figure out a real career. And I guess you decided that. Just
Yeah.
Like I did.
Yeah, I went a couple times in the summer, but yeah, you can't do both, or at least I couldn't. There might be a handful of guys that can, but
Yeah, I don't know.
Not this one.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you want to have kids and do all that, it makes it real tough.
yeah, for sure.
It's impressive when people can pull it off.
So yeah, we just hunt. My boy, he likes to hunt, fish. So that's what I do in the free time versus I've been on a horse one time in 2 years.
Really?
Yeah. I told Ryan, I said, well, take that back. Been on it twice. When she set the arena record at Saxton, I had to lead her in. I said, make sure you give this horse some drugs so I don't get bucked off when that helicopter's landing over there.
Yeah. So what is your background? Like,
Man, I grew up in a little town about an hour west here called Perrin. Graduated with about 28 people. Real small town. I wasn't much of a farmer, and I didn't like the oil field, so I told him I was going to school, and here we are. Had a real good mentor in college, and
where did you go to school?
Easy Credit University.
Yeah.
East Central in
Yeah.
Ada, Oklahoma.
And you always wanted to go that veterinarian path, or?
No, actually, I took my MCATs, scored high enough to apply to med school, and that advisor I had said, "Man, you should apply to vet school." And I was like, "I don't know." They told me it was real hard to get in, so I was just going to do the med school deal, and applied and got in. And I went to OSU up there where
Really? Mm-hmm. And it sounds like there's a whole lot in between. Well, I didn't want to be in the oil field or be a farmer, and then I took the MCAT. So
Yeah.
not very many people do that. It's
Yeah.
a very difficult test.
I didn't. I grew up in the oil field. That's pretty much all my family does. We have
Really?
some oil wells, and my dad works for a pipeline company and things like that. And then we had farmed and ran some cows and that sort of thing. But, oops, sorry.
Whoops.
Gonna give me that instruction, right? It's gonna be an emergency of some sort.
Yeah.
Not gonna
Well, at least
make
it's
that
not the FBI this
That's
time.
right.
When the phone rings with the bidon on.
Yeah. Yeah, they're back.
Not the FBI this time for sure. But yeah, I went to a little school, played a little bit of ball. Didn't throw hard enough to go very far at that, so just finished out school and
Yeah. Obviously, you were very intelligent if you went the path you went, and dedicated, because, I mean, I only know like 2 or 3 people personally who are able to pull that off, like the schooling it takes to even get to where you take that test.
I just say I was lucky. I don't know
Really?
how intelligent I was.
Well, I mean, you got to be pretty dedicated and complete a lot of schoolwork.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there was a lot of schoolwork, but I don't know. I was fortunate enough that school wasn't extremely hard, but that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You put on Lonesome Dove and study the night before, and by the time Lonesome Dove's done, you should know everything you need to know about that test.
I mean, if you play the whole
6
film,
hours. Yeah,
yeah, you could finish the semester in 2 or 3 days.
for sure.
Still, it's a classic. It's a classic.
It is.
I bet you never watched Lonesome Dove, have you?
Not really.
I should have not put as much whiskey in that coffee. Yeah.
A little too much.
A little bit. Yeah, I wasn't quite ready.
Who puts a whiskey in their coffee?
Most
A
people.
lot of people, son.
Well, I don't drink coffee, so.
You don't look like the kind of boy who would put whiskey in his coffee.
Well, I'm trying to be. If I'm drinking coffee, I'm trying to wake up, not wake up and get.
No, you want to be right here. You don't want to go too far up here, and you never want to go down here. So you mix the two.
But also, I'm not the guy that would be drinking coffee at like 5:30 in the afternoon.
No, you didn't have the night I had last night. Plus, I don't think they would let you even. They'd probably ID you for coffee, let alone the whiskey. Well, let's fast forward here, because when did you meet Ryan? Because, I mean, from what I know about Ryan, I mean, that had to be a very difficult approach. You probably could have got punched in the face.
Well, actually, the first time I met Ryan, I changed a flat tire for her, not 12 years ago or so.
Really?
Yeah. I was actually working for Josh at Outlaw, and he sent me to change a tire, and I'd never met her. And that was actually the first time I met her. It was changing a trailer tire.
Really?
Yep.
And it was just love at first sight, or did she quote some of the Constitution first?
She probably wasn't into the Constitution as much then. We still thought the Bushes were good people back then.
Lots changed.
Yeah, lots changed since then. But no, it wasn't until actually probably about 5 years later after that we actually got together.
Really?
You know, she's a diamond in the rough, and I had to polish her up a little bit to get her where she's at now.
I'd like to hear more on how you accomplished that exactly.
Accomplished that?
Yeah.
Well, according to her, it was her that approached me, not
Really?
the other way around.
That's actually not that surprising.
Yeah. I don't know. So, yeah, we just started hanging out a little bit. As you probably know, I don't really go to barrel races and watch them run
Yeah, I don't
very
blame
much,
you.
other than when I go to work at the shows, and then I don't even get to watch them run. But I don't know, just working on horses and being a friend, I guess, is how it all came down to the end.
Yeah. Yeah, when she looked at it, she's like, this some bitch is going to keep my horses sound.
Yeah, feed them.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we first moved to where we work all day, and we didn't have any help at all. I mean, no help at all. And if she was gone, then I would have to feed at night, and then we'd have to feed on weekends. And I told her one day, after about 3 or 4 months of that, I was like, hey, I'm quitting this job, so you better find some help, or you're going to be on your own.
How'd that go over?
Good, we found some help.
It was that, or just call it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that or they weren't getting fed, just turn them all out like cows, I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's always the scary part. If you go down the road, you hire somebody to feed your horses, you almost always come back and they look like shit.
Well, I mean, Ryan's pretty good about it. They always say you can't starve a profit, and I can promise you that's true. There's more hay on the ground than probably most people feed them at our house.
Yeah.
Wasting.
Yeah. Back to the ground where it came from.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you have to be a very specific kind of man to be able to, one, date a fraternity person. They just came out with the decade winners in Barrel Horse News, and I think she was like in the top 7 or 8 of them.
Yeah, I think she was 6.
Yeah.
You know, it actually works out pretty good. I work a lot, and she works a ton. Her and a couple of her are probably the hardest working ones I know. I would probably say the hardest thing about working with Ryan is there is no schedule. You know, I mean, you never know what you're going to get one day the next. But, you know, a lot of times we don't see much of each other, and then that way she don't get tired of me and I don't get tired of her probably too. So that works out. But, you know, we've had our ups and downs, but it's kind of leveled out now. We know what to expect, and
Right.
you don't call her when she's at the show, especially if things ain't going too well. But
Yeah, I mean, that's just the whole population of barrel racers.
right.
It's just the way it is. You grow up with them, or you, God forbid, you marry one.
But if you give her an hour or two, she'll look at the bright side of it and focus on the positive, so it's not too bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so you've got quite a few barrel racing clients. I mean, from what?
I would probably say 80% of our clientele is barrel racers. And probably of that 80%, another 80% is futurity horses. I mean,
Yeah.
we do a ton of futurity horses. You know, and we've been fortunate enough to work on some really good trainers' horses that have really good horses. So we have a lot of horses that we get to work on win. And I wouldn't say it's anything I do special. I mean, you just got good people on good horses, and they go do their job. We
Yeah.
just try to help them along.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tricky position, especially if you're working on really high end horses for really high end trainers and high end people. I mean, one slip up and you're one of the first people they're calling. So I mean, there's a lot that is required of a veterinarian who decides they want to take the path of working with, that clientele.
So, yeah, and I've had some people say, "Oh, well, you work on your wife's horses. You're not going to want our horses to win because you want your wife's to win." I said, "Shoot, have you seen what we've done so far this year?" But they'll come around. If I did that, we wouldn't have any clientele. I want them all to win. I feel
Yeah.
like we win if. And not every horse is going to win every time, but if everybody goes out there and is competitive, I mean, I think that's the general ideal of the business,
Yeah.
to put good horses and make them competitive every trip.
Yeah. And just keep the longevity going, which is
For sure.
That's
Try not to do any harm,
Right.
make them worse in the long run. You won't have a better product at the end than when you started. So
right. So you started at Outlaw. Is that where you started your career? Mm-hmm. And how long were you there?
5 years.
Yeah.
We went from leasing a place on 287 from a lady, another veterinarian, and then to the little shop behind his house, and then to the big clinic. We actually drew that new clinic out on a napkin one day at Chili's.
What better thing to do at Chili's?
Right.
You can't look at that menu too long because you're going to be disappointed when it
Right?
shows up.
They frown upon it when you're back there trying to bartend. You don't work there, so they frown upon it.
I've heard that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you know anything about that, Ty?
About what?
Bartending at Chili's?
Nope.
Oh.
Although Chili's is a good establishment.
Yeah, subpar. Yeah, it's right
Like,
in the middle.
if you just need a place to go, like suddenly on a Thursday night, Chili's is not a bad place to go.
Well, we were there probably back when we worked, and I lived on the south side of Decatur, and we worked on the north side. We were there probably 6 nights a week, so
Yeah.
we knew them too well, probably.
Yeah. There's not a ton of places to eat in Decatur. There's just a few
Yeah.
that are decent. What's that one off the highway? Catfish O'Hare's. Is that place good? I have never stopped there in my entire life.
I've ate there probably once in 12 years, and it was actually pretty good, but anymore we don't hardly go to town, honestly.
Yeah.
Live in the middle of nowhere, but yeah, Catfish O'Harley's was pretty good. Casa Torres is real good.
That one's good.
and
Been there.
Roosters is pretty good, that barbecue place on the square.
Yeah, we go to Hard Eight a bunch. We live just east of Decatur.
Oh, yeah.
So we can go to that. Roanoke.
Oh, yeah, that's real good.
Yeah, that place is good. Because I think I got a Hard Eight in Stephenville too, but it's not as good.
Really?
Not nearly as good.
I've never been to the one in Roanoke, just the one in Stephenville.
Yeah, Roanoke's different. I think that's the original one.
Yeah,
It's like an old stone building. They've got like stone smokers. It's pretty cool.
good.
It is pretty good. If you like barbecue, it's Texas. You gotta
That's
like
right,
barbecue.
you gotta like it.
Jesus and football. Otherwise, you can't be here.
Oh, I try not to watch much football or baseball.
Because of all the nonsense.
No, just I played both a little bit in school, and like I said, I was just subpar at both, so I didn't make it very far. But I always figured might have made a little too much money on some things. Some of them did.
It seems like it. It
Yeah.
does. When you have professional athletes like that, and they're telling average people how they should live their lives and lock themselves down and do all that, it's just a little silly.
Right.
What do you know about the real world? You don't.
Yeah,
Talk to a veterinarian.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah, you say you got 16 people working for you, and you just shut everything down. I mean, what are they supposed to do?
Yeah.
Who can live off? What did they give everybody? $600
Yeah.
for a month, or $1,200?
Yeah, well, it was a few hundred a week. I think they bumped it up because I think regular unemployment's like $350 a week, and then you got an extra couple hundred. Yeah, so I mean,
$200.
then they're still handing it out. That's why a lot of people don't go to work. Like you drive around this area in the Metroplex. I mean, we're basically downtown Fort Worth right now.
Yeah, I was wondering if I needed to bring my pistol up here with me, but I left it in the car. I wasn't sure.
You know what? We had an Olympic shooter. She won the silver medal in Was it in Japan? Where was the Olympics just at? I didn't watch a single
Tokyo.
second. Tokyo, yeah. And she brought her fancy shotgun up here. That was the closest we've had. I think.
No joke?
I don't think I've ever brought a gun in here.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
There's probably been guns in here that we just weren't aware of.
Right?
Yeah. You know what? I think I did have one in here one time, but usually not.
Yeah.
They're most likely concealed.
The hairstylists downstairs, they don't take too kindly
They
to our
don't.
type.
Yeah, I saw the mask up before you enter. I was like, I don't even own a mask, so I'm just going to risk it.
I don't think they ever pulled it down is all.
Yeah, I've seen people downstairs not bother with it either. So I just think someone forgot to take it down.
I mean, we were doing episodes right in the middle of this, 2 weeks to flatten the curve time.
Right.
And we just never did it. Got yelled at a couple times by them. We're like, oh, no, we're a business here too. And guess what? We don't want masks. So, haha.
For sure.
The stairs are free.
It's hard to talk through a mask, but
And breathe.
well, and we were fortunate enough too. We didn't really slow down. We had 2 weeks that were pretty slow. I went fishing a couple days during those 2 weeks during the middle of the week that I never get to do, and after that it was just
Back to normal.
back to normal, picked up and like gangbusters.
Yeah, no one in this industry really cared.
No, not at all.
It screwed up rodeo to all kinds of rodeos got canceled and all that. But I mean, other than that, no one was doing anything different. Your rural people they don't care. They don't know the difference.
No,
It's the city people that it really affects.
yeah, it didn't. If you go out to where we live, it doesn't look like anything's changed.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the whole world is just gone nuts. Must be really hard for you to get ivermectin right now, huh?
it is. It's on back order. You'd
Yep.
be surprised at everything that's on back order. Dex, clenbuterol, which is Venopomin, how much we're paying for a gallon of alcohol versus what we paid before all this. I mean,
Yeah.
it more than doubled. And like a lot of the prices on some things.
Oh, that's everything.
Depot-Medrol, you can't get it like normal Depot because Pfizer owns that company, and Pfizer stopped production of that to produce the vaccines. A lot of things that you use every day that you can't put your hands on anymore.
Clenbuterol even, huh?
Yeah, you got to get it compounded.
Or maybe it's just during the pandemic there's a lot more bodybuilders now.
Maybe so.
Maybe the bodybuilders love their clenbuterol.
That
Keeps the nipples from hurting.
yeah, there's a ton of stuff. Or you get allocations like one bottle
Yeah.
a week or something stupid
That's
like
insane. Yeah, so how do you guys mitigate all that?
that. Man, try to buy it. When it comes off, you try to buy as much as you can until it comes back on, or as much as they'll let you have.
Yeah.
And then, like I say, we've been fortunate. Some of the compounding pharmacies will still produce it because once it goes on back order, they can legally produce certain drugs that normally they wouldn't be able to produce. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
that helps. But yeah, I mean, then you're paying a lot of times double the price, but you got to have it. You got to have it.
Right. Yeah, it's like the material stuff. Like I have a business and we deal with a lot of raw materials, and the price of 1/16-foot stick of 1x1 aluminum tube, what the frick?
Yeah.
It is the craziest shit I have ever seen. Like the cost of that, it's like $600.
Oh,
And you can't charge people that, so you're just making less money.
yeah.
Because no one's going to pay for that one stick of tube to do one tiny little like repair or something. It doesn't make any
Oh,
sense.
absolutely. Yeah, we have a construction company too, and the same thing. Like
Yeah.
sheet metal, just straight galvanized R panel. I mean, it's more than doubled than what it was last year. So
Yeah.
I can't believe people still building like they are, but they are. I mean,
Can't
everywhere.
stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't stop. I've got a trailer company, and we do all custom trailers, and a lot of it's for military application. Not horse trailers. Tried that. Got that T-shirt. Lost money. Never again. But sponsor like 2 people and be like, yeah, I'll set you up, give you a trailer for cost, and then it's never good enough. So
Yeah.
won't be doing that again. But we did a lot of like government bidding for mobile command units for the military and stuff like that. They just stopped purchasing.
Really.
So we pushed more towards the service side of things. Like, okay, let's utilize these bays that we've never used, and you put like a Google out there, repair trailers, and people show up, or we do custom trailer work. Next thing you know, people are bringing cargo trailers and they want you to turn them into campers because you can't buy a camper. And then you're like, that sounds like a great idea, until you can't get windows, can't get insulation, can't get an air conditioning, can't get generators.
Yeah. Nothing.
And then you're like, well, let me get a semi-load of raw aluminum tube. Dude, you could buy a house cash for what that costs. Sorry, can't do it.
For sure.
When you're buying pharmaceuticals for veterinary, I mean, there's probably not a ton of that, right? Because I mean, behind like all the human stuff, right?
What do you?
I could have said that more tactfully. That didn't make any sense. Yeah, but I mean, is one of the reasons there's such a big shortage on stuff like that is because they're prioritizing all those? Because that's one of the things most people don't realize.
I think so, to a degree, yes. Because even on things like take dexamethasone for example, it's not back ordered; it's just allocated, so you only get X amount,
right,
per week or month or whatever,
right.
And so I do think some of it's being allocated on the human side and things like that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Isn't it funny, like the misconceptions when it comes to things like, well, I mean, most of those drugs that you just mentioned, minus a few, were for humans before they even were for horses.
Oh,
or
for
animals.
sure, absolutely.
Like the I don't know how deep you've gone down the ivermectin rabbit hole, but I've gone all the way in, full on. Ty,
I did my research too.
but you
I
probably
am
did
ready to go against whatever you have to say.
you probably did your research in a different place than I probably did most of my research. We probably researched on the opposite sides of the fence. But I don't. Since you're an expert,
I wouldn't call me an expert,
Well-
especially not on ivermectin.
yeah, but you've definitely given it
Oh yeah, we've
for
given it.
anti-parasitic properties, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Ty, did you know that ivermectin has been prescribed to humans more than it has any other species?
Yeah, but not for COVID though. That's the whole point. It's meant for, it's like you said, anti-parasitic.
But you can't overdose on it, so it doesn't even matter. Even if you did a tube of ivermectin, I don't think it could kill you based on
The weight? No.
the weight.
But
yeah.
but also the thing is though, it's the specific tubes are meant for horses or meant for, like we said, bigger animals, and there's different ingredients that are not known of how they interact with human bodies.
Well, especially the apple zest.
Right?
Yeah.
But that's
Apple
the
flavor
big
will get you.
That's the big reason why the FDA and the CDC is saying, please don't take the horse version of this because there's inactive ingredients that could fuck with the body.
But they're telling you not to take any version of it,
Yeah, because
even though it works.
Well, not for COVID. And with that Joe Rogan thing, he took how many other things with it? And I think the antibodies, I forgot what the...
I think he took Dex too. Yeah, he took
I'm sure he
Dex. He
did.
took Dex. He took ivermectin.
He took some other antibody that's been used and like is widely been working with treatments.
You know who else used ivermectin before any of this? Trump. Trump took ivermectin
man.
and Dex when
But
he
also
had
took,
COVID.
and he also took the same antibodies that I'm talking about. I need to figure out what exactly they were.
Yeah, you can get all that stuff from your doctor, but the whole scare tactic of ivermectin it's just ridiculous because if you talk to a pharmacologist, which I did, the amount that you would have to take it's even more than what's in just a tube of
Oh
wormer.
yeah.
It's an insane amount because it's so benign and it's so non-harmful to the human body. Like the guy I talked to has been prescribing it for decades, and he's like, you would have to take so much of that you would probably just die from bloating before the medication would actually kill you because it's just not harmful.
And but again, like we said, it treats something different. It's not meant to fight viruses. It's supposed to fight things that are parasitic, that have different muscle, things like that. A virus doesn't have muscles and organs that ivermectin attacks.
I mean, it's shown in a lot of different countries that it has antiviral properties. In fact,
And
let's not cut
sorry,
people off.
I'll let you finish. My bad.
This is not what you came here for.
No,
Anyway.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. Anyway, it's shown so many antiviral properties that I think when they won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2014, I think it was for both parasitic and antiviral. I think
Nope.
that's mentioned in the data.
No, the Nobel Peace Prize that was awarded in 2015 for ivermectin was
thought it was 14.
2015. It was specifically treated for a therapy that two guys created. I want to say a Japanese person and a Dutch. That I might have the first one wrong, but they created treatment with ivermectin to particularly fight river blindness and elephanopathy. I can't say it right.
Yeah, that was a hard word. River blindness, though, everybody knows what that is.
But it's meant. But the therapy that they created is what won the Nobel Peace Prize for anti-parasitic use. And going back to what you were saying with in terms of having the antiviral, that's only been found in petri dish tests, no clinical trials yet.
And COVID patients, it turns out.
And they're currently trying to work on clinical trials right now, but there's no published or significant findings at this moment to figure out if ivermectin is working or not with COVID patients.
But there's also data showing that if you have a virus, the way viruses work is when it attacks your cells, it destroys the cells and releases the toxins. So if you have no toxins in your body and you're you're a healthy individual and you're a clean individual, in theory, you should have no negative side effects, right?
Which is I think why it works so well on healthy people like Joe Rogan. Like he kicked it in like 3 days, but a lot of it has to do with he was healthy. But I mean, Donald Trump was never a picture of health. He was overweight. He was eating McDoubles with fries, and it seemed to help him. Now, the question that I would have for anybody who's against it, right? It's very clear that it's scare tactics with this ivermectin. There is so much proof that they've been making up these stories of people overdosing from it on horse paste, and that's been proven. The Oklahoma thing, you can go to Google, but I would say use like a DuckDuckGo so you don't get their screened version of what you're trying to get.
Shoot, my dad had it 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah, and man, he was plowing back in 3 days. My dad's no picture of health either. He's
Really?
like 65.
Did he take ivermectin? Did he take anything? Or
yeah.
He did? Did he get it from you?
I don't know.
This is a safe place, Don.
No, he bought it at the store.
Really?
He bought it at Tractor Supply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just took did he ask you what amount to take?
Yeah, I told him what amount by pound. I mean, It's all milligrams, so you can do the conversions and everything and figure it out.
Yeah.
So
I just don't understand the scare tactics. It doesn't make sense. Like if it could help and it's not harmful, other than for the profit, because they make so much money off of, because if there's a treatment for COVID, I think we've already talked about this on the show with somebody else. If there's a actual treatment or something that works, these pharmaceutical companies can't get those hundreds of millions of dollars worth of grant money that they get to produce vaccines. And I think we could all agree, that's really what this is about. It's about money, just like Afghanistan.
Oh yeah. Like, and it's in any medical field, in my opinion. I'm not a huge vaccine person on any level. I mean, I think there's some things that need to be given, but as a whole, follow the money. I mean, pharmaceutical companies give money to doctors for pushing certain vaccines, and then it's just, what are you going to do? It's easy money, right? So I don't know. I'm not the biggest vaccine fan, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly think that measles, mumps, rubella, that's probably a good one.
Right.
Based on the history of those drugs. But, I mean, there's data showing that these COVID vaccines are actually changing how your cells divide. I mean, that's kind of scary if you think about it. And I don't want to say it was rushed through clinical trials and all that, but, I mean, when you look at what it's actually doing as far as a vaccine goes, it is a little troubling. And
yeah, it's a mRNA vaccine.
Yeah.
I've done a little bit of reading, but not much, and by no means do I know very much about it. But yeah, you're creating a protein. Your body's creating a new protein to attack this virus. So who's to say where that protein stops and where it starts? You know, I mean, I just don't trust them personally.
No. Yeah, well, anything that's highly for profit, it's hard to trust it. But it's not even about that. Like, if you do your own research and you think you want to get the vaccine, then you should get the vaccine.
Yeah.
But if you don't, you shouldn't have a freaking gold star slapped on you and put in a freaking internment camp and be called less of a person. It's just insane that if you don't feel that the vaccine is right for you, that you are patronized to the level that people who don't get it are patronized. So your body, your choice as it pertains to abortion and this Texas law, but not vaccines. Like, it's not your choice, not your body with that. But if you want to have an abortion, your body, your choice. Like, you see why that's ridiculous? Like, you can't pick and choose what you're going to be a hammer and sickle about.
It goes the other way, though. You can't have abortion laws restricting things and then say, oh, then a freedom of choice. It goes both ways.
It does. Yeah, it does. But most of the argument around the abortion thing is the fact that it's, the science is in, it's a human life, right? There's a heartbeat, there's things like that. Whether you agree with that or you don't agree with that, or you think it's the woman's choice or it isn't, that's not the point. The science is already in on that. As far as actual clinical data and study of human life, like, it is proven that is a human being and that they have nerve endings and, that's
heartbeat, like
a heartbeat.
18 days maybe.
Yeah.
18 days, give or take.
Plus, we live in the most free country in the world with the most access to things like, come on, dude, a condom's like 60 cents. Birth control you get for free. God forbid you got to use a Plan B pill. Like, okay, that's $80 or whatever it is, but come on. There's like 30 or 40 steps you can take before it's like, well, I got to go down to Planned Parenthood. Like, it's just the responsible thing would be like, hey, maybe don't do that.
And the other discussion would be like, for anti-contraceptives, like like a Plan B or birth control, or what the discussion is, shouldn't that become, if you don't want abortions to happen, shouldn't that become much more easily available, much more cost, aka free, or some like very low cost? And
I'm
stuff
pretty
like that.
sure they are. I think you can get free birth control and a free cell phone in this country now. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, you can get free contraception walking into a Plan B, but even all right, I'm just saying.
But then
If you want to get down and do the dirty, like that's a personal choice. Like, should it be free that I have to pay for Ty to go stick it to his lady? No, I don't have to pay for that. Why should that be free?
But also, again, if you don't want, the thing is, though, if you don't want abortions and you don't want a high number of abortions in this country, then you have to find somewhere else to prevent them.
I just don't understand what happened to personal responsibility in this country. Like, you don't graduate from college. You don't graduate from college if you don't actually do the work.
The other thing I have with this too is our sex education in this country is not fucking good. And there's a reason that people don't understand how to do that, because our sex education in this country is horrid.
I mean, they put the condom on the banana. What else do you need to know?
Not in most schools. Like my school, they didn't fucking teach us that. I was taught abstinence in my Texas public school.
Oh, well.
I was
use
in
that. That's 100% a guarantee you're not going to impregnate somebody.
That doesn't fucking do anything though in terms of teaching kids who are going to be sexually active at that point in time how to properly have sex.
Yeah, they should show them the videos that we had to watch in school. And I went to a little bitty 1A school. I mean,
When did you graduate?
Horrid videos, 2002.
That's not even that long ago. What kind of videos did they show you, Don?
Oh, about all the STDs and all that stuff that you get.
Oh, all the-
slideshow, the pictures and everything.
Oh, yeah, because those even though it was 2002, those videos were probably from 72.
Yeah.
So you're like, they're having to comb everything back just so you can see the warts.
Yeah, I didn't have any of that. So
You have a cell phone. You can see a much cleaner version if you wanted to.
It wasn't on a slideshow where you projector click.
Was it?
Click.
Like the old, like,
The VHS where you had to put your finger in it and rewind it.
and this is gonorrhea. Like, so that's what that looks like. Hey, do you have a color version, Miss Smith? Yeah, what was your sex education teacher's name?
I don't even remember. I really don't. I think it was probably one of the science teachers.
Yeah, you were probably just sitting there like,
ours was a coach.
that looks different than mine. Why is everything under mine so red?
I think my like health teacher was a baseball coach.
Oh,
Because that's
you know
how
what they say about baseball coaches and sexual education. What do they say, Don? I didn't play baseball.
I didn't play it very long.
Because of that?
Yeah.
Was your sexual education teacher the baseball coach too?
No. Yeah, I think it was some very unattractive science teacher.
Really?
Yeah.
Male or female?
Female.
So were they her personal collection of
I don't
photos?
know. It was kind of sketchy.
It sounds sketchy, especially when there's only like, well, you said you graduated with like 20
28
people?
28.
So there's not a whole lot of people to get educated sexually on.
No.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, probably. Yeah, Ryan will have a comment about this.
What would her comment be?
Oh, there ain't no telling. She'll say something like, all those people and parents don't know anything about sex education.
She's probably right.
She's probably right.
Yeah. Did she go to a bigger school? Did she get better sex education from not a
Bigger
baseball
school,
coach?
I don't know. It was in Florida. Seems
Oh,
like they have better
That's true.
education in
Florida,
Florida.
that's right. Yeah. I'm sure.
Guys, Rock and Roll Denim has absolutely changed the game when it comes to the performance and style in Western jeans. Top competitors like Shad, Tim O'Connell, Shelly Morgan, you name it. Your boy right here, we're all wearing Rock and Roll Denim. Inside and outside of the arena, it gives you the flexibility you need to win, as well as looking absolutely great in your interviews, appearances, whatever it is you're doing. Even when you're just doing podcasts like me. I had a chance to go to Rock and Roll Denim's factory the other day and pick out all the pants I wanted. Here's the thing. I got to try on a bunch of their new jeans. I love the men's Revolver jeans with the Reflex stretch technology because they're comfy. They're not stiff like some of the other jeans. Go check them out at rockandrolldenim.com or follow Rock and Roll Denim on Facebook and Instagram for the newest trends in Western fashion. rockandrolldenim.com. Guys, let me remind you how much we love Pendleton whiskey and how much you'll love it too. Here's the thing with Pendleton. It's not on every single shelf in the entire country. Sometimes you go to those small towns where the small rodeos are and you can't find Pendleton. That's where drizzly.com comes into play. Satisfy your inner cowboy by purchasing your bottle of Pendleton whiskey online. Buy it online at drizzly.com, put it in the trailer. Pendleton blended Canadian whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume, Pendleton Distilleries, Lawrenceburg, Indiana. and please drink responsibly. So, I got to ask about the badger thing.
Okay.
Because every time I look at my Instagram, I see that badger on Ryan's
Badger,
Facebook.
he'll bite the shit out of you. Don't let her lie
I
to you.
heard that he bit the hell out of like 3 or 4 people at barrel race the other day.
Yeah, he bit me sitting on the chair wanting some food. Like, he'll beg like a dog and bit me on the calf. It's
You're
just,
taking the badger to horse race.
Oh, yeah.
barrel
It
race.
goes
Barrel
everywhere.
races?
Goes everywhere.
Where did this whole idea? What's his name?
Connor.
Connor.
Yeah. Connor Digger.
That's an interesting name.
Yep.
Why is it Connor?
She got into UFC there for a little bit.
McGregor.
Yeah, Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's how he got his name. But no, I mean, he's pretty cool. We've had a little bit of everything: badger, raccoon, skunk, deer, kinkajou.
A what?
Kinkajou, man, they're from South America, raccoon family. It's actually pretty nice.
You have it still?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Where did the whole like collecting of the, purse size exotic animals come from?
I think she's, best I can understand, she's been that way since she was a little kid. She's had a little bit of everything, like skunks when she was little. I don't know, she had some type of little monkey too, but she said they were pretty mean, so she didn't want one of them anymore. I don't know.
For anyone that's wondering what a kinkajou is, it kind of looks like a lemur.
Yeah.
Oh, lemur?
Yeah, at least this one is like a tan lemur.
You pull it up on the. Well, you know what it looks like. Never mind. You don't have to put it on the TV. He knows. I don't care.
It's a honey badger looking thing.
Ooh, honey badger. That would be the ultimate pet. Is that next?
That's what they call them.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, honey badger, honey bear.
So what are the steps you have to go through to actually get a badger as a pet?
Well,
Or do you just find one, kill
Yeah.
the mother, and steal the baby?
steal
and
the
hope you don't
baby.
lose a finger?
Yeah, she'll tell people that she wrestled her mom out of the hole and grabbed one of the babies, but I'm pretty sure we paid a little bit of money from it from Tennessee. No, it was bred in captivity and everything, and she'll. If you ask her, she'll show you a picture of his brother that's like 3 years old. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's a big old fat badger. Got his nuts hanging out with a picture sitting there and says, "Hello, ladies," in the caption.
Badger's got like large testicles. Is that a thing?
Yeah. Ours don't. It's been castrated. But
So can you train him like dogs? Like, will he go outside to the bathroom, or are you just picking up badger dumps all over your house?
no, he does.
Really?
He does.
Scratch at the door kind of thing?
Stays in the kennel. Well, we don't give him that option. They're real destructive. But he stays in the kennel, and then you just let him out, and he'll go outside. He won't go in the kennel.
Really? Mm-hmm. And then he'll come back. He's not just like, you know what, I want to be a free badger.
Oh, he stays on a leash outside. But I imagine he would stick around. He'll load up in the truck. Have you seen that one where he loads in the truck?
I don't think I saw that.
To get in the AC, yeah, he'll straight up load in the truck. It's crazy, but he will bite the heck out of you. Not mean, but like playing or something.
Really?
They'll bite
They're
the
pretty
heck.
playful.
Oh yeah,
Or they seem playful on the Discovery Channel.
yeah. And he plays
Seem
with
like
the
a great
dogs.
pet. Yeah, I mean, she's not the only famous barrel racer who's had wild pets. Sherry Cervi used to have javelinas and coyotes.
Oh yeah,
I think she got her javelinas taken away from her.
you'll have to talk to her. She'll haul with like turkeys and chickens and all kinds of stuff. Like
Ryan will?
No,
Or
Sherry.
Sherry. Oh, no, I know.
In the trailer.
Yeah, I got hooked by one of her javelinas when I was a kid at her house. Son of a, that was terrifying. When you're like 8 or 9 and this freaking weird little pig is like has razor blades coming out of its face.
Right? Yeah.
Down, Sparky! Don't eat the kid.
At least we haven't gone that far. I don't think we'll have to have a pig. I mean, we got plenty of wild ones, those all running around.
Yeah, everywhere. But you definitely wouldn't want one of those suckers. Javelinas are at least a little better looking than the feral pigs. Those
Yeah.
things are nasty.
Yeah, the badger tears up the yard enough, let alone a pig. And
Does he? Does he just naturally just wants to do what they do and dig the shit out of the ground?
Oh yeah, absolutely. She's like, oh, he's just practicing. Like he's freaking putting landmines in the yard. Would you like to have to mow that thing?
She's just standing there putting that silver paste off her nose. He's just practicing. So you're like, what did I get myself into?
Hey, that silver paste will help you pass the COVID test. Yeah,
That ain't no
absolutely.
lie.
That's what I think she made enough people mad when we went to the NFR, and it's supposed to be a random draw. I think like 3 of us out of her little circle that she had got double tested twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did not test as much as they said they were going to at the NFR, though.
And I got tested twice.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were able to just kind of walk past it and didn't say a word.
Oh,
Well, we got there real early, though.
But like at the tent, like your callback in tested, they just scan the little thermometer on your head. I don't even know if they looked at it when they did that.
No. Well, and in fact, when we were with, I don't know, like a few days before, we were getting all of our media passes because we were set up down there and all that. And they said, "Did you get your COVID test?" And we were just like, "Yep." And just,
I don't even remember them asking us.
they asked Riley and I. You weren't there yet. Yeah. They were like, "Did you get your COVID test?" Yeah, we sure did.
Most of the time, I think every day was just temperature check. I think that was just the thing that we went through.
Yeah. Yeah, we got there a couple hours before the rodeo started, though, and there weren't many people there. But
Now, didn't you get COVID after it, though?
yeah. It was going around. Just everybody was smart enough not to mention it.
Yeah, I got it afterwards too.
Yeah. A lot of people did.
I didn't get it.
No, you didn't. Probably because you were taking ivermectin, and here you are arguing against it. I was like, this paste tastes like apples, Mommy. This is delicious.
Oh man.
So you got, let me make sure I get this list down. You got Badger.
Yep.
I forgot what the other
Oh
ones
well,
were.
right now we just have a badger, a kinkajou, what's that stupid thing? A chinchilla, a snake, 2 African ringneck
What kind of
parrots.
snake? Like a python?
Yeah, like an orange one, yellow one.
A big one?
No, he's not real big. He's probably 2 foot, 2.5 foot long.
Or any of these your idea, or are they all her idea?
They're all hers. Like growing, when my boy was little, I mean, he got, anytime Ryan wanted a pet, it was for my birthday. So pretty much all the dogs that I have, except for one, was a birthday present or a Christmas present. And then my boy, he got a rabbit one time for Easter. What are those, hamster-looking thing one time as
Like
a
a
present.
gerbil?
Yeah, like a gerbil for a present. And then she says the snake was because he wanted it. I think she wanted it. So yeah, all those, a lot of them.
Are you just trying to check off every box of every animal possible?
What happens when you start getting to the big ones? Like, were you going to have a giraffe at some point?
She don't want a giraffe. She wants a bear. So
I can see that
like a
going
black
well.
bear. Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, right. That's what I think. I mean,
Put it in the stud stall?
If
That's a
you-
great idea.
run it out of food, you can feed it to chicken. I don't know.
Or, I mean, you could see what happened if you put the badger in with the bear. If it's
Bear,
like a small
yeah.
bear, who'd win? You see those videos, once again, on the Discovery Channel, the actual honey badgers running off lions. I wonder if a regular badger has that same spunk.
I don't think Connor does. He's not. I don't think he'd make it in the wild. He likes the AC too well, and
A little bitch badger is
yeah,
what he is.
that's what he is.
Just wants to bite. He wants to bite defenseless barrel racers.
Yeah.
He's got bad character, just like the real Conor McGregor. Yeah, he's probably only bites older people, right? Just like
Right.
Conor McGregor punches out old men in the pubs.
Defenseless.
Defenseless old women. I'm gonna bite your ankles because they're exposed. You shouldn't have wore flip flops today, bitch.
Absolutely. You can't if he's loose in the house, you cannot walk around without shoes or pants on.
Why is that? I mean, what is it? What is it about toes that get him going? He
I
just
don't
wants
know.
to chew on
Well,
you.
I mean, he'll bite your pants anyway, but at least you got a layer of protection.
Yeah. Have you ever thought like I'm just gonna this badger one night?
Well, I told her if he bites me again, and I told him that I was going to mount him on the wall next to everything else.
How did he react when you told him that? Did he bite
didn't-
you right back?
No, he didn't care. He ignored it.
Like,
Probably knew it wasn't happening.
So I'm gonna go dig a hole now right in your
Yeah.
front yard.
Absolutely.
You don't mind, right? But if you do mind, I'm just gonna bite your ankle. So.
She's like, I'm just going to tie him here in the grass for a minute. I said, no, tie him on the concrete for a minute.
When she took that thing somewhere for the first time, what was the reaction? Is this something you talk about, or she probably just doesn't know anything?
Is that really a badger? That's normally what every people is like. Yeah, it's for real.
It's a Chihuahua dressed like a badger.
Badgers, yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Got about 10 pounds on the Chihuahua,
They both bite your ankles, though. Very similar.
very for sure.
Ugh, that's a scary critter. Because you just see them. You see them do crazy things like this. this whole thing shifted from being about you and your red beard and kung fu to being about badgers.
That's
You
all
probably
right.
expected that to happen.
That's all right. Yeah, Ryan said it would.
She's like, just so you know, it's going to be about the badger.
Yeah. But no, he is pretty good little critter. He ain't bad.
Do they like you able to bathe them easily and like without any issues?
She can pretty much do whatever she wants to it. And so can Lexi that helps Ryan. But like if they're gone for a while, it takes him a little bit to like warm back up and not try to eat my face, but that's okay.
As he went for your jugular already?
Yeah, if you're sitting in a chair, he will.
You just can't be comfortable in your own house. Huh?
That raccoon that we had, Dingshire did.
What'd you guys do with the raccoon?
He got big enough, and we just let him out. He would go outside on his own after he got big enough, and then he just wandered off.
Yeah, you can't keep them when they're bigger. I think anybody I've seen who had one, they always let them go after they're babies.
Yeah, he just, who knows what he did, but.
Yeah. They're more like cats, like little trash pandas.
They are that.
They don't come back.
Destructive little critters.
Does the badger smell strange?
Yeah, he's got a musky smell to it.
Kind of like a ferret or something?
Yeah, just like a ferret, pretty much.
That's unfortunate. What do you...
No, that's unfortunate.
You probably didn't realize you were going to turn into like this menagerie of strange animals.
Right. I feel like Marty Stauffer off of Wild America.
Yeah. Yeah. Bear Grylls. You could
Yeah,
eat that
Bear
badger
Grylls.
at some point.
So you went from playing ball in high school to becoming a vet to owning a badger.
He never
Owning a
said
badger.
he never said he played in high school. He was referring to Pee Wee.
Yeah.
He said it wasn't that good.
T-ball.
to go on.
I wasn't that great, so.
Yeah, he played left field and T-ball that one season.
Hey, I did too.
Or that was me. I'm sorry.
Undefeated season.
I just projected onto you. I shouldn't have done that.
Guard tackling in.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
Set on the end of the bench.
Yeah.
Guard the water truck.
Someone's got to do it. Make sure that the other 3 people on this 8-man football team don't get the Gatorade.
That's right.
Was it 8-man football at your school?
It
Did you
is
have-
now. It was 11 when I played.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, 8-man football is weird.
It is. I hadn't been to a game since they switched, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, maybe we'll let you get out of here. I'm sure that you probably have to stop because badgers eat specific food, and then I think chinchillas only eat gourmet food. So
Yeah, the chinchilla or the kinkajou eats better than most people do. I mean,
does it have to have real specific food?
mainly it's all fresh fruit.
Fresh papaya has to be flowing
Yeah.
over daily.
What all does it eat? Blueberries, bananas. It likes marshmallows pretty good, though. It is kind of like a bear like
Oh,
that.
I like marshmallows too. I get it.
It eats crap out of marshmallows. Gummy bears,
That's fair.
Yeah.
What's a badger eat? Dog food?
dog food, chicken. I mean, if we cook anything, you better not expect leftovers because the badger's going to get it and the dogs are going to get it. There's nothing ever left. You better not go back for seconds or anything.
Did your dogs ever go for the badger? I'm just trying to imagine the first time you bring a badger home and how ranch dogs are.
Man, our
Get a hold of
dogs
that thing.
they're kind of used to everything, so they're actually pretty good with them. I got a standard poodle that might be the only thing that would try to attack it, but it's
Like the big poodles,
yeah, like
those
the-
suckers are mean.
Yeah, he's a big one.
Yeah. Is it like, are you doing real poodle stuff with it, like retrieving?
Yeah, he's supposed to be. He's not. We got a lab, and the lab's better than the poodle, but I mean he will.
Yeah.
The poodle's a little better at upland game type stuff, quail, pheasants.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I had a guy, he trained dogs, and I used to go hunting with him, hunt ducks and stuff with him, and he had a lady friend who did what are they called, field trials or something, and that broad had poodles. Those are the slowest sons of bitches I've ever seen retrieve anything.
Yeah, they're like real timid.
Yeah, I worked for him in the summer, and I would throw the birds for him. I don't know, my grandpa got me stuck doing this. This would be a great experience. You go throw ducks and shoot them for these field trial people, weird crowd. But one old lady, she had to have been 90 freaking years old. She had poodles, like 6 of them. And you'd start on a Saturday morning, and by the time that dog retrieved like 3 ducks, it was already Sunday evening, and you were done.
They are slow.
They're scary. They're probably more terrifying than a badger.
I don't know about that. I
at
don't know
least-
how
at
terrifying
least-
mine is.
That's the only ones I've been around, and they were definitely terrifying. They were a little mangy too. They were missing some hair. They kind of look like those dogs from that movie I Am Legend. You remember that movie?
Yeah,
Kind
yeah.
of look like that. not beautiful animals, not majestic whatsoever, not like a Chickapoo or whatever you had. Very majestic, those.
You're telling me it's not the poodle that is like pampered, has like the fluffy white fur.
No. These ones are dirty and they still have that look, but yeah, they're more like a.
That's probably why they're so scary.
Like a mentally disabled bloodhound, but fluffy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's probably why they're so menacing. It's their look is deceiving. They don't look that like they're mean until
I think they look like they're meaner than shit.
Until they faint.
The big ones. They got big old teeth. They might as well be a wolf. They just a slow wolf. He knows. He got his from
he has a badger.
the same place he got the badger from.
Right. Bred into them.
Yeah. Well, Donley, I think it's about time for your 6:30 kung fu lesson. So
That's right.
I'll let you go.
Go learn it up.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Oh, you bet. Thanks for coming.
Thank y'all.
This has been The Gauge, hosted by me, Chance Conrado, produced and edited by our guy Ty Yeager. Shout out to the executive producers Dustin Pointer and Cody Denton. Marketing and content produced by Riley Choan. Make sure to rate and review this podcast, as well as follow The Gauge on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And make sure to subscribe to The Gauge wherever you get your podcasts. We'll see you guys next time.